Hey guys, welcome back to the weekly wrap-up. This week we're going to focus on 5 games that unfortunately I just didn't have the time to get to making a full video for. But before we get going, guys, remember, if you like what's going on here, if you like this video or this series, hit that like button, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Consider joining the Discord, links in the description. And of course, for all these games, the links are down in the description as well. Without further ado, let's get going. The first game we're going to look at is called Devils. Now this is a top-down puzzle, I don't even know, maze game that I found that was actually pretty interesting. I really like the theme, I like the art style that you went for here. The puzzles actually do get really challenging. As you'll see, there are a lot of different obstacle types to get around, and all of them behave in their own kind of weird way that I thought was really fun. How they kept facing new obstacles, I kept facing more complex ways to use the old obstacles. Overall, it was just a really creative game, and for how far I got, I didn't feel like any of the obstacles got stale or overused. There were definitely a lot of levels that I thought were pretty difficult, as well as the first time I tried it, didn't really know exactly what I was doing, and some obstacles kind of felt a little weird. For example, the big orange brick. Not really sure what that's supposed to be or resemble. I was really confused. At first I thought I got killed by it, but turns out it's just a weird barrier type thing. Is that supposed to be a canyon maybe? Yeah, that's probably what it is. It's probably just like a canyon. It looks like the opposite art style of the walls. Maybe I'm just stupid in that regard. Overall, I thought this was a pretty fun game, and I definitely enjoyed my time playing it. Something I might add is like a level select, or I'm not sure if save has implemented this, so I don't have to restart when I come back. Other than that, it seemed like it had all the things it should have. Next game we're going to talk about this week is Wild in the Sea, which seems to be like an ocean bottom cleanup simulator. Not really sure. First off, I was really impressed by the graphic style. It seemed a lot more polished than I was expecting. But the first thing after that I noticed is the controls are really wonky and kind of clumsy to use. Picking up the barrels doesn't really make sense, as well as putting them back wasn't intuitive at first. As you'll see, I kind of struggle with it for a little bit. And the ship turning, that's just really weird. It seems like it maintains momentum after it finishes the turn, but during the turn it just kind of stops dead. I'm not really sure what that's about. That's probably just a simple code fix. Also, I'm not sure A, why the sub has torpedoes, or B, what this sub would need torpedoes for. All I saw were rock walls, and really the biggest hazard to me was myself. If you plan on adding in enemies down here in later updates, then yeah, that's totally fine. Also, something I would smooth up or even just throw in is kind of a control scheme in the game. It would really help me understand exactly what I'm supposed to do, as well as how do I really do anything in the game. I kind of had to explore and figure it out. Granted, there aren't a lot of controls, so it's not too hard to figure out, but the picking up and setting down was something that took a little bit of experimenting, and as you saw, I blew up several times. Another thing it definitely does need is some form of continuous audio. That would definitely help my experience, as well as maybe some damage indicators. I think that would definitely be pretty cool. Or like proximity alerts. That'd be something in one of these games that I don't think I've seen before. It's like a radial symbol around the ship says, hey, you're about to collide with this, or hey, look out, this thing's coming. That's just ideas though. I don't think you need to add that stuff. It'd be cool to see. Overall, pretty good, and I like where it's going, and I look forward to future updates in this one. Definitely one to watch out for. Alright, now the third game we're going to talk about today is Stalker Lost. This is an interesting perspective RPG, I guess, that I discovered. It seems like the text in some places is written in English, others in Russian. Not a huge deal, because everybody that interacted with me spoke in English, which was really this one conversation, and that's about it. The combat system's a little weird, and you're going to see that in a little bit. That was my biggest thing that I didn't understand. As soon as I came in, I saw this walking around, and it's pretty cool. I like the atmosphere that it's setting up. I like how you kind of get around loading in the entire map at one time. But on the topic of loading, starting the game takes like 4 minutes to fully load up the game. And when you die and lose, you sit there and have to load up the game again. So in my 15 minutes of actually trying to play this game, I think I spent like 10 minutes waiting for loading screens. Not really sure why that needs so much time to load, but I guess it does. If you could figure out some way to optimize that, that would be awesome. I don't really have any suggestions on how you can do it, but it would definitely improve my experience, as it took a lot of patience to push on to try this game again. You saw the combat also didn't really make sense. It looked like I was throwing hammers, but they weren't hitting anything. They didn't even interact with walls, which is okay. This game was only released a couple days ago, so you're probably still working on it. That's okay. Just a few little things to work out. Maybe some damage indicators, some actual damage being dealt, or some indication of, hey, you can't fight this guy. I see guns in the shop, but I wasn't really sure. I didn't try interacting with the guy behind the counter, to be fair. He just told me I needed to bring him back an artifact. So maybe I completely overlooked that and I was supposed to, which would have just been stupid on my part. Of course, I just think about that looking back at the footage of me playing. Alright, the fourth game we're going to look at is called Dystopia. Now this is definitely a game that feels like it takes a lot of inspiration from Portal, which is pretty cool. It starts off interesting at the very least, in a boxed room with some things you can interact with. One thing I would say at first is lock the mouse to the screen right away. My mouse was moving all over the place and doing stuff, and eventually it locked in, but I don't know. I don't even know if that's something you can do or if it's just an event that happens on click. I can also spawn these things infinitely. Probably not something you want me to be able to do. Maybe. Maybe you're totally cool with it. I really liked the puzzle style this game was going for and pushing for Portal-esque. I feel like we don't have enough Portal-esque games out there. This is on its way to be a great start. The puzzle seemed interesting, although there were only really 2 puzzles that I encountered in this demo, which is not bad. I look forward to seeing more levels. Hopefully they're coming soon. I'm definitely following this game. Check it out later. There were definitely a few glitches as well. I say definitely a lot. Sorry about that. Getting over this wall felt weird. Then I found out that I'm not even supposed to get over that wall. So that was interesting and really made me feel dumb when I discovered that I'm not supposed to try and get over this wall and glitch over this block. But that did mean that I encountered a glitch and a flashlight, as you can see. Other than those little glitches, I think this is on its way to being a great game. Add in a few sound effects, some more music. I don't know what else to say about that. It's pretty good. Keep it up. Alright, and our final game for this week's wrap-up, Alone in the Shafts. Now this is the shortest one so far, it's just a very quick demo, but I'm very excited about the atmosphere that this one's putting forward, as well as the graphics quality. Definitely looks like somebody put a little... There I go again! See, they put more time into these, or just found better assets online. I don't know. Either way, it looks great. How it's set up to be really creepy. I was getting the definite creep vibe. And I like how it sets the precedent for the game that you'll hear in just a second. Well, not here. You'll see in just a second. And it seems like there's a lot of attention to detail as how the tracks are constructed and making it feel like this is an abandoned area. Now, I'm not sure this guy coming up here, you'll see in a second. Yeah, that guy over there. You'll see in a minute that he's got a note. Now, I'm not entirely sure why he's got a note talking about how he was lucky enough to survive when he's obviously still running away from something. But I'll let that one slide, because you need to introduce what's going on some way, and I think this was a great way in this early of a stage where you don't have much to show to kind of set the precedent that, hey, you're not just walking on this or escaping from humans, you're escaping from something else. So now I'm curious, I'm hooked. And I think that's a great way to end this demo. Just, hey, you can jump off if you want. I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny. But anyways, thanks guys for joining for this week's wrap up. Hope to see you next week, and I hope that you check out some of these games that I talked about today. Go over, play them, offer the developer your own input. But guys, remember that if you're new around here, subscribe, like the video, join the Discord, and until next time, please take care of yourself, because I will see you later.